G'day everyone, welcome back. It's Josh here. Today I'm just going to be doing a how-to video, fairly comprehensive, of how to catch yabbies, just the simplest and easiest method, and cheapest. You're not going to need millions of dollars. We can do this for about 10 or 20 bucks at the most, and it's pretty well the way that's guaranteed to catch something. First things first, you're going to want to find a good spot. What I like to do is get on Google Earth, or ask your mates. What you want to find is like a stock dam that's generally always got water in it, or a seasonal creek that doesn't dry up much. I found if you can get out west of the divide, you're going to do a lot better with the Blueclaw. There are red claw in Australia that you find up north, but around here they're all Blueclaw. So yeah, get on Google Earth, ask your friends that have got stock to try in their dams, any lakes, but just keep a mind that some places you're not actually allowed to yabby. Check all your local regulations and stuff, so you're doing the right thing. Bag limits, I know our bag limit here is 200 a day. If you're doing that, you're doing pretty bloody good. There are other methods, traps, we'll go into that in another video. So yeah, first things first, find a good spot, and there's no real way of telling until you have a go what is a good spot. Second thing, what you're going to need, all you're going to need is a little butterfly net. We didn't even have these for a long time. I found these ones with the longer handle are better for us oldies, so you don't have to bend down to pull your line in and scoop them up. I do have one here with a shorter handle, and it's actually a bit bigger of a net. This one's good for the kids, they can get down and in amongst it. I'm actually going to put a longer handle on this fella, I think, later on down the track. So you're going to need some sort of scoop, and it doesn't have to be a proper scoop. Growing up, we just used a bit of chicken wire with a bit of fencing wire, just made a handle and a little bloody scoop out of it. We used, what else did we use? Coat hangers with just a stocking. Let's scoop them up with that. Sometimes you don't even need a scoop, you can just pull them out of the water, but if you want to catch yabbies efficiently, you need some sort of little butterfly net or hand scoop, or improvise, make one. So there, you can get these at the dollar store. I think I paid $5 for that, and it's lasted years of pretty heavy yabbying, so $5. Second thing you're going to need is a roll of this, just cotton twine, cotton string, you know, what you use to sew with. You can use light fishing line. I tend not to like using light fishing line because it's not biodegradable. If you happen to lose a bit of this somewhere in the environment, it's only going to be 6 months and it's going to be broken down. It's cotton, it's all natural, and the cotton string, it's so thin but strong, you can actually feel the yabbies a lot better on the line. Rightio. Next thing you're going to need, which you don't really even need, is a knife, just to cut your bait up. And as for bait, you can use pretty well anything. I've found the best thing to use is kangaroo. I don't have any kangaroo today. What I got today, I've just got, that's just a bloody a bloodline out of a catfish. So, and it's just a strip of bloodline when we were cleaning the catfish up there a couple of weeks ago or whatever it was, and I just threw it in the freezer because I knew it'd be pretty good bloody yabby bait. And all you want to do is just get a bait about that big. Doesn't have to be huge, just a nice little bit of bait. just big enough to tie on a string. And then you just tie that on your bit of string. Just tie that on your bit of string like so. And depending where you are as to how long it's going to be, but I've found about 4 foot is going to be plenty for most places. You don't want it too long. If you're casting out in the middle of a dam somewhere, then you've got it. You can't hook a yabby. You've got to rely on the yabby to hold onto the meat. So you want to make it reasonably as short as possible, really. So you're not dragging him, because the further you drag him, the more he's going to want to let go. So nice and short. And that's pretty well it. Just a bucket, which you can pick up a bucket. You can go and buy one at a dollar store for 50 cents. Or you can, this one here is actually free from the tyre place. It's just tyre lube compound. That bucket there is literally 5 years old, and I've used it every year. So that's about it. So what have we got? I know this string here, I haven't bought any for years and years, but I actually priced some the other day, and this string was $2.99 for 5 200 metre rolls. So there's 1,500 metres, and that's 1,500 metres is literally going to last you, your kids and your grandkids yabbying for lifetimes. That's $3. Bit of old meat. It's literally nothing. Just a bit of scrappy meat from somewhere. Even if you do have to go and buy some, you want like 50 grams. So basically nothing. A knife. Everyone's got a knife. You don't have to go and buy a knife. The biggest cost is going to be a scoop. $5. If you got to go and buy one, you can make one up for nothing again. So we've got like, we're into materials like the 1 metre of string is $3.99 divided by 1,500. You're looking at like probably, I'll have to do the math, I don't know what it is, but it's insignificant. So there, we're into it for like $5. We'll I'll go down, we'll head down here, and I'll show you what to look for a spot. Rightio, you're looking for a spot to put your line. Again, there's no really right or wrong answer. What I prefer to do, you can see here that the bank's really sloping out on a very slope, so it's going to be shallow there. You can see the grass goes out a metre or so. And what you're going to find, you can even sit your scoop down in there to test it. Well, that's not too bad. That's probably about 5 inches deep there. Not too bad. If you're only learning, what I prefer to do, you can see this bank's really slopey. We'll come around here and I'll give you a look. I'd much prefer this bank around here for someone that's just learning, because you're going to get your scoop down underneath them easier. You can see this bank, it's going down, so it's obviously going to be deeper off this bank. We'll come around here and just have a test and see. Also, it's rocky around there. It's all sand, there's no habitat. See all these rocks up here. It's going to create habitat for the yabbies. There's going to be rocks out in the water there just the same. So if I was going to be, and you can see the roots of the trees, creates habitat. So I'll just sit my scoop in here and just test. Well, that's just as bloody shallow there. So we'll go up a little bit further. These old tyres, I found them pretty bloody good. Yabbies love to hang around them. That's a bit deeper there. So what we'll do, so we've found our particular spot where we want to set a line, and like I said, you're better off if you've come to a dam you've never been to. You put one on either side of the dam, spread them right out, and then you find where they are. Then you obviously just sit where they are and catch them. So like I said, we just want our line reasonably short. It's only out 4 foot. And I've just tied the string onto one of them branches there. There's no need to bring rods and springers and bloody God knows what. Just find a stick and tie it on. You're not fishing for Murray cod. They're not going to be pulling it in on you as long as it's reasonably firm. And then, yeah, just wait. What I'd normally do, I'd give a line 15 minutes. If you haven't got something on that line within 15 minutes, move it, because if there's yabbies, oh look at that. I literally put that line out since I've been talking here. Just as I said, I tied that line on, that's when I threw it out, and look at that, there's something on it already. So they're here. You can see how to tell when there's one on there. Your line will go really straight and they won't keep pulling like a fish. They'll just pull it out nice and straight and sort of just sit there and eat it. So you can see him taking off there. He's actually a pretty voracious yabby, this fella, and that little branch I got it tied onto, he's actually pulling that little branch. So when you get one on the line, what you're going to want to do is pull the line up nice and slow. Have your net in the water ready, and you want to pull the yabby up till you can actually just see him in the water there. And you notice what I've done then. If they pull back on you, just let them take it, or they'll just pull back and let go. So just let them take it when they pull back. There you go, easy as that. Have a look what we got. See, simple. That literally took me from when I got here to when we got this first yabby, probably 10 minutes, and that's because I was doing the video. From when I put the line in to when I got this first yabby, a minute at the most. I'm not actually going to be keeping any today, so I'm just going to bring him down here and just let him go again. I'm not doing any catch and cook or anything, I'm just doing a pure tutorial. And look at that, I just caught that yabby. 30 seconds later, that line's pulling again. I've just got that tripod set up so I can show you how to net a bit better. It's been literally that line was going off 30 seconds after I put it back in. We caught that last one. It's been about 2 minutes because I set that tripod up for you so you can have a proper look. When you're netting them, you want to stick your net in the water before you start pulling your line up. And this line's only really short, it's only near the bank here. Before you start pulling your line up, and bring it in slow to behind the yabby, because he'll flick back on you. Bring it in slow behind the yabby, then just go straight up underneath him like that, and bang. There we are, another one. If he lets go of the net, I'll put him back. Actually, that's perfect. That one there is absolutely perfect for what I wanted. I'll just give him a bit of a wash off. Very important. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Them little black balls underneath its tail, always look for them. They're eggs. If you get any with eggs, make sure you put them straight back because they're your breeding stock. So he goes back. I'm glad I got that one actually. I didn't even think of telling you about the eggs. And that line's going off again. We just caught that one. We'll scoop one more. Just to show you, take it nice and slow. And there we go. I missed him. I caught a rock. So you're not going to get them every time. No, there was one on there, but he'd let go beforehand. And don't be disappointed if you keep missing them because it takes time to practice like anything. I don't think I've missed anything. We'll do a proper video on traps, a separate video on traps later on down the track, and a couple of different types of traps and their pros and cons on both of them. This line's definitely going off again here. So just put your net in before you start pulling. Bring him up nice and slow. Bringing your net in slowly. There you go. You can literally catch hundreds. It's by far the cheapest. Like I said, $5 you're into it. Most of the stuff you have already laying around the house. And the most effective. You set traps here. It's a bit, you obviously want to take your kids and stuff. Traps are a bit boring. You throw the traps in and you've got to sit around and wait. With the lines, when they're going off, the kids are always busy pulling them in, having fun. You get a feed at the end of the day or some bait, whatever you want to do. If I've missed anything, leave a question down in the comment and I'll try and answer it for you. I'm sure I have. I know there is one thing I've missed of where to look for yabbies. A really good telltale sign that it's a good yabbying spot, and it's going to be impossible to tell at the moment because everything, it's been flooding around here and raining non-stop, so everything's chock-a-block full. But when the water level goes down, you'll see little round holes, probably 1 inch round, all in the banks, in the mud where they're buried in. If you see a lot of them holes, that's a good sign that there's yabbies there. Righto, we'll leave it there. Like I said, any questions in the comments and I'll try and answer them for you. Thanks.